Welcome back, anglers. I'm the survivalist, and we return called Wild, the Angler, where we are enjoying the benefits of having the, you can select the time of day to go fishing at. We were able to get the gold asp at the end of last episode, so we only have one more challenge to complete in Nokenjon here, which is catch a gold rank bream, which, for whatever reason, has been a very tough one for me to try getting. So I'm just going to double check the handbook and see what we need to try going after them. And yeah, we can do all the rotation with the model and that, which was another little update. Okay, so traits, we know it's bottom lurker and night owl. I'm wondering if I should try going for the dog biscuits and see how we do for them again. Because give me one moment to bring up the hook size chart here. There we go. Alright, for bream, it is hook sizes of 4 and 3. Now, I can't remember if the dog biscuit is a bottom fishing one or it's something else. But maybe we'll try from the end of the dock over here. And let me see. Okay, yeah, that's imitation dog biscuit. And just go for regular there. And see if we can get any luck here with this. Oh, I should also double check, make sure the rod does have... Okay, hook size 4. We'll toss that in, see how we do, and if we are able to get the bream today, we'll probably go to the far other end of the map to, whatcha-hedger-call it. Let's actually double check that, because Forskrimfjorden. You know, as much as some of the names do seem, like, really out there for, like, trying to know the pronunciation, like Nokenjon here, or Nokkensjon, or whatever it is, Forskrimfjorden, I think I've got that one pronounced down pat. I think it's because there's no, like, specialized characters to it. Like, Nokenjon, I'm not sure how you pronounce that, with the slash through it, so no idea if that's the correct way of it or not, but Grimsfjorden, that one seems just fine. Or Forskrimfjorden, or whatever it is. I'm not sure what DLC we'll tackle next. Like, if I wanted to go chronologically, we would go from Trollsporet to the Spain map. But I kind of lean to wanting to do the South Africa map just because it's a little more exotic for species we'll probably be able to go after. Like, I have no idea everything that is on the Spain map. I'm guessing there'd probably be, like, a catfish species. I feel like maybe the roach and some of the ones on Trollsporet we might see there too. But I kind of lean on the South Africa map just because of how exotic the species roster probably is in comparison to what we've seen already. Oh, was that a Xander at the surface there? Just because of how how bottom fishing is, you kind of just have to leave it sitting for a while, but... we'll give this a couple of minutes. If that doesn't work, try going to a hook size of 3. I'm pretty sure I've got it... Yeah, just going to a hook size chart, I am fairly sure that for a gold rank bream, it is hook sizes 4 and 3. So I'm not sure why I'm having so much trouble trying to get this species of all things. Like, from the handbook, it looks like there's a lot of different things that it should go for, but none of them has just seemed to really work for getting the interest of what we need. I don't know if it's one of the things because of where it's listed for, like, its preferred locations. Like, it says shallow pond, deep pond, and lake shore. I don't know if I am fishing at a lake shore or I'm actually fishing in the lake. It's kind of a weird one to try figuring it out. Because, yeah, it is basically just right spot on with that right there. And I don't want to... Yeah, see, I gotta be careful of that thing right there. I'm trying to think of, like, what areas I could try at. Okay, that's definitely a Xander there that came up. You know what? I'm wondering, maybe I'll try going over there and see from that. It's like this area technically would also be lakeshore. And I'm just going to switch this out for a hook size of 3. I'm going to try the corn and see if I have any luck with that. That was another one listed in the bait types that are supposed to work for the bream. Now, truth be told, I have no idea if this is going to give me any other luck or that. But we've seen the series that you can kind of get some weird catches in what looks like very little water. I know Golden Ridge, there were a few fish. Like, I think the Northern Pike is the one that stuck right to my mind, where it just seemed like we tried cast way out, and there was one just swimming basically right at our feet. Now, once we brought line and tossed out that little bit, it did work. But we're just going to try our hand here. And I'm thinking if we can't catch the Bream and get this mission completed, we might just keep it in the backlog, because like we spent way too long on this one. I don't know why this one has been so tough to figure out or get, but I definitely do want to change things up and go for something a little different. Yeah, I should actually check the handbook and see, or the journal, what we could go for. Silver rank chub. Okay, truth be told, yeah, we've been at that location of fish before. That's very familiar. Brown trout, we've been to its location too. Silver Atlantic salmon. See, a lot of these, I think, are all a lot of the same water bodies. So I think we'll probably be able to get through a lot of these in rather quick order. Yeah, so there are 8 total for Forskrimfjorden. And it looks... yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4. So it looks like there are 4 gold ranks and the rest are all silver. But there is one to try going for a burbot, which is going to be pretty interesting, because that's one of the fish that I think I've only ever gotten 1 or 2 of. Okay, you know what? Let me pull that in, because that's obviously not doing anything. Why are you such a bugger to get? Okay, you know what? Maybe I'll try the boilie on there. Okay, that's probably in too deep a water, but okay, I'm actually... that might have been a bream right over there. The only issue I have is trying to figure out... okay, that's better for a cast. Like, with them having changed the casting settings for instead of, like, having the meter sometimes you can read, I should actually check and see if that is an option you can turn on. But, like, trying to do this by feel is a little weird to figure out, like, how far are you actually casting out. I still haven't adjusted to it. And, yeah, I think I have to actually be in, like, the game settings rather than, like, the menus here for that. Well, we'll see if this fares any better for us. I'm not sure if it's because, like, with this being a fjord, this is... I'm not sure if this would qualify as, like, lake at all. I was, like, looking at the map. You do have the connection here that... yeah, rough Xander Atlantic salmon. Xander Roach, that and that. Yeah, see, Bream you can catch from there. Bream you can... it looks like the Bream you might actually be getting more so... from, like, the inland ponds and such. Yeah, Bream for there. No Bream on that one. Not there either. Not there either. What about over here? Burbot, brown trout, Atlantic salmon. And quite a variety over there. But yeah, I have no idea why this one species is just so troublesome to get. I'm just going to leave the line in for a minute or two longer. And I might even try going back to the, I wonder if I should even try catching just like a silver size. Like, maybe try a hook size of 5 and see if that does it. Because, like, 4 and 3 don't seem to be cutting it. So, you know what? I'm going to make sure that I can actually catch the silvers and see. And you know what? I am going to try the dog biscuit again. Okay, oh, it's way further out than I planned. I don't want to check time day. It says it's 2:09. I feel like there is something where night does have an accelerated rate it turns over for. Like, I didn't check and see what time we started at for setting the time to, like, evening or whatever. But I don't know. I want to check once this episode ends and see how it's sitting for, like, how much time has passed. Because I swear, it feels like something's a little different there. It might just be my perspective because, like, I'm looking at what I think is supposed to be the nighttime. But this does not look like 2 a.m. in the morning. So yeah, I just want to see how that'll play out and everything. But we'll see if we get any luck for, like, anything going after the bait like this. As with changing it down to a hook size of 5, that should let silver rank Breams strike it if they want. And it does open up a fair bit more to go after, too. We'll just have to wait and see. It might be the case of maybe I will have to switch to a, try a float setup again. Okay, there we go. Finally, some action. Although, a lot of delay between, trying for anything. Okay, so the interesting thing about whatever is on right now is that it's only just at the friction break point. Yeah, there. Now we've got it set to 40%. We should be able to steadily bring whatever this is in. It's definitely not an Atlantic salmon because the rod would be tested much further than its limits are right now. I honestly don't know if that fish to the right there is what we were bringing in or not, but I don't think so. You know, whatever we got in... Well, maybe it is another salmon. No, it is a silver bream. Okay, so we know that we can catch silver bream properly on hook size of 5. So now we will step up proper and make sure that we should get them on 4 as well. The only thing is, we'll just probably have to wait them out a fair bit. Like, at least that confirms, okay, we can catch bream here. The bait is right, the hook size, we were correct, or the hook size chart was listing it right. Maybe it is just like there's only so many gold ranks at an area that it can be kind of sparse for what you will get. I don't, as much as I do want to have, we keep seeing fish actively going for what we could toss in, because we are targeting try to get the gold rank, I don't want to just keep the hook size 5 on and hope one does end up being the one we need. As we could probably have just a lot of catching the same silver ranks over and over. That doesn't really get us anywhere aside from, like, some experience and credits, which, I mean, admittedly are nice to get. But we could use getting this last one caught and then going to a new bit of region for fishing. But one thing I'm kind of curious with the DLCs, too, is if there's any kind of jumps like we saw between Golden Ridge and Trollsporet. Like, when it came to fishing and starting on Golden Ridge, the gear and everything we got worked just fine and progressed through pretty steadily. But once you got to Trollsporet, granted, as long as you weren't fishing in areas where you could have the Atlantic salmon, like the big open parts of the fjord, you get a lot of the smaller fish more reliably and easier with the hook sizing and such. But I still feel like there's a little bit of a jump up for, like, the size of fish and whether your gear could handle it or not. So I don't know if there's going to be something like that, where the DLCs keep kind of this little bit of a power curve in a way, where it feels like they step up more and more, or it's kind of more leveled out to just a general sort of, if either Golden Ridge or like how Trollsporet is. Come on. Let's see something go for it. Again, it gets to a point where even if I do want the gold rank Bream as the first thing, I will take anything that wants to strike the line. Freshwater game fish, lake spawns rivers all over Europe. Feed on larvae, worms, insects, and plankton. Okay, that's interesting. It says they feed on larvae, worms, insects, plankton, and such. But, like, bait and lure preference, they have dog biscuits and such as, like, the first ones there. So, like, is it misleading, or is that actually, like, the preference they have? I'll have to bring the line in to see. Yeah, bring that in. Okay, with what, like, that little thing listed there, I'm trying to think of what I could try there. I might even try for a leech and see how it works. Just because everything that it is listing for, like, in that little info blurb, and how varied the bait thing is listed for, like, the journal there with it. It feels weird that it's giving me things like dog biscuits and boilies and such, when it doesn't really line up with that there. So I don't know if it's something just because it is a bottom lurker, it lists all the bottom baits you could use for it, or if there are better preferences it has than, like, the first three it lists. I might just have to try a little bit of everything and see what works and what doesn't. I can see a few things swimming around out in the water, but nothing I can really say is, like, definitively is a bream. Not that that even helps us in any regard, but at least it's, like, something to look at while we're passing time waiting. Yeah, it's saying... Okay, 3:40. I feel like time is highly accelerated at night, because, like 10 minutes later, and it's saying, like, a full hour has gone by in-game. So I'm just trying to think of the pacing for that. Like, I know Golden Ridge, I think it took 2 hours from when you would load into a game to when you would actually hit nightfall and evening. So basically, if it went from, like, noon to... I can't remember if it's 6 p.m. or 7 p.m. the game uses for, like, you've hit nighttime hours. But it's about 10 minutes per hour in-game. Yeah, no, by that logic, then, it shouldn't take you 2 hours to go from, like, noon to night. Or maybe, again, because of the quality of life that you can pick the time of day, the way in-game time works has changed up a little bit more. Okay, you know what? That's not working. I am really leaning to going back to this as a float rod and see how it fares. Hook size isn't right for that. Actually, let me double check the handbook. Does it list that it'll go for leeches? It does say liver, so you know what? Maybe we'll try that instead. Yeah, like, maybe it is the case of, how we've had it for, like, some of the other bottom lurking fish, is that the bottom feeding rod is actually less effective than just using the float rod at its max depth. Because on Golden Ridge, and there were comments that have come in about it too when it first got added, was that you might have better success just going with the float rod compared to the bottom feeding one. Which, I mean, does feel like a really odd thing to have, but maybe for first implementation and to get it working, they wanted to keep it, so it didn't feel like the float rod was obsolete. I should say float fishing, not like there's a specific float rod to use for float fishing. We'll wait, see what happens. I'm kind of leaning we might get some Atlantic salmon striking because of what we've done. But with having liver on there, I don't know if they've gone for that as a bait all that much. Granted, I don't think I've used that bait for much of anything. Where are the Atlantic salmon? There we go. Oh yeah, oddly enough, they don't really care for liver, so maybe we won't have to worry about them going for this if we use it. We just have to give it some time and hope Bream does find it enticing and strikes. Although again, at this point, give me any fish. You know what? Nothing's happening. I'm going to pull that out. I'm going to head back onto the dock there and just try my luck. It's like I was hoping we would have seen something by now. Yeah, even if I'm just catching Xanders, I'd like to at least like get 1 or 2 fish before the episode ends, just to see what we get. Now, for whatever reason, this seems to have been like one of the hardest spots to fish at. I'm not sure if it is because, like, again, with it being set to night, only a few species are active, so if you don't have the correct baits for them, it feels like there aren't any fish in the area, or it's just like an odd spot to try at. Nope. Well, there goes an Atlantic salmon right there. Yeah, it doesn't really show any interest in the line, so that's at least helpful for us. But I think we are going to have to just give up on the Bream. Like, as that gets closer to the dock, I'll probably just quick retrieve it in and try it another little way down there. I know if I slapped a minnow on there, I'm pretty sure I would have Atlantic salmon striking every time it basically hits the water. But yeah, I cannot for the life of me figure out what it is as like the special trick to get Bream to want to go after this. As shown, we've tried all kinds of setups with the bottom fishing rod. We've been trying a few different baits with the float rod. We've tried switching out the hook sizing a couple of times. The only thing I can think of is we'll give this a moment or two, see if anything does go for it, and if not, switch this down to a hook size 4 and cast it out again. But no nibbles, no nudges, nothing of note. Yeah, I'm going to bring that in. I'm going to try switching down the hook size to that 4 and see. And we'll let this sit till basically the end of the episode and see what happens. The reason I find this has been such a weird fish to go after is because we have never had any troubles with it in like the previous ranks. I'm trying to remember if we had to catch 3 ranks of Breams or it was just a silver one before, but I know we have been asked to get them for other Nokenstone challenges. Like, let's see. Okay, that was for European Perch, that was a roach. Yeah, there was a bronze rank Bream where we got that pretty easily without too much issue. Same thing for the silver rank one there. Although, that was more on like an inland lake or that. But for whatever reason, I'm leaning it has to be this spot in particular. Just want to take a... I know it's going to sound stupid, but I'm actually going to try and see if, like... maybe I need to be trying to match up the picture for it to where I'm trying to catch it. I know it sounds pretty dumb, but maybe that's a little hint of, instead of trying to go out into more of the fjord, I need to be trying to work more like lakeshore, that area for one. And like, this is basically where it's kind of asking, or where it's kind of shown picture-wise. We've got the, whatever reason, we have the post in the water to the right there. We've got the cabin and such to the left. So we'll see if this has any luck, and we'll go for like another minute or so and see. I don't know if I'll have kind of like the luck I did with the asp at the end of last episode, where it was basically the last couple of minutes we got it. Or we'll just have to call it quits once we hit that point, but... yeah, I feel like I have tried everything I could, but the closest we got was a silver rank. Yeah, nothing at all. Not even like a little hint or a nudge or... And just going to make sure it does say that... Yeah, it says night owl, more active at night. Definitely giving our best try, but we definitely are going to be switching it up. I cannot see spending another episode just trying in this little area. Trying all kinds of baits, trying a bunch of different hook sizes that are all listed that they're supposed to work for it. And no results. So what we're going to do is we're going to bring that in, and we're going to fast travel our butts all the way over here. And that way we can start focusing on, Grimsfjorden, or hang on, Forsgrimfjorden, I think it is, and get those fishing challenges underway. Because again, with the hook size chart and all the gear we've got, this should zoom once we start getting to the locations for it all. Yes, we'll go to Forsgrimfjorden and start with a silver rank chub next episode. For now, though, we'll end the episode right here, and thank you all very much for joining me on this episode called Wild the Angler in our Trollsporet series. If you did like the video, be sure to give it a like, and if you have any comments, tips, or tricks, shoot in the comments right down below. Until I see you all next video or episode, anglers and survivors, please remember, as always, to take care, stay alive, and happy angling.